Meh. Okay, I think that's that. Hello. Okay, let's just let everything set up for a moment. That was a little bit slower than normal. Hello. It is a Sunday, not a Saturday, so things might be a little bit slower, but that's fine. Wouldn't be the first time I've streamed on a Sunday instead of a Saturday. That there. Alright, there we go. Chat's on the side. Hello, Knight. How you doing? And hello, Speedy. Hello, Code. Pretty much everything set up. Just gonna wait for Discord to announce that I'm live, and that should be everything needed. Hello, gamer. Is it heist time? It is heist time. Probably. Hello, Scarf. Tuesday is Lone Trail. Yep. I am really looking forward to it. I also have to quite rush things, so I have to make sure to read the manga tomorrow on stream. Otherwise, yeah, that I kind of left it a bit later than I expected. I had to do stuff on the Saturday. Hello, Scythe. Are you ready for Lone Trail? Pretty much. I'm very anxious to play it. I really want to get my hands on the event. It looks so cool in the trailers. Speaking of stuff that I want to do, let me go into this because I've got some money. Yes, I do. Not this one. I mean, I like, but I like more. Might as well say, I really want to get Moina. I've been trying, like, a lot. Are you getting... At the moment, I'm not sure. I'm not overly... Well, as you can see, I sort of haven't really been saving, and that's kind of because Muina is sort of in the way. And case in point, I've got some money. I probably could pay to get a rundum, but we'll see. I don't think I've had a single...
I am Ansel, a medical intern. I'll be assisting with surgery and internal medicine, among other things. I look forward to working with you.
I don't think I've had a single good role in this game on stream since I first started. I forgot you're not free to play. For the most part I am. Occasionally I will put money in if I feel like it, but most of the time I don't. Time to only roll off stream. Majority of my rolls do end up being off stream, and then it happens I'm like, no, why was I not streaming at this time? It's yeah. Hello Still, how you doing? I think okay, game audio seems fine on stream. I'm just gonna turn it down a little on my headset. Are we the sussy backer? Maybe. Okay. 11.6. Culture unfolding. War cannot destroy a nation, nor not until its culture too begins to die out. Aladale's guard forms an AoE barrier for allies. Okay. I think that was mentioned before. Yeah, I sort of didn't use it. By the way, chapter 12 was a great chapter. That's all I'll say. Look forward to that in the distant future. Well, it's not too distant now. Probably towards the end of this month, maybe next month, depending on how long Lone Trail delays everything. So let's see what this one was like. Okay, yeah, so conga line and a whole bunch of ranged. And I think I'm going to put a tanky person here. So... What should I swap out? I think I'll stick with 2 vanguards and then give myself a cheap. There we go. Is there any cheaper? Yeah. I just need someone to go in early.
This mission, then.
If I tell you I got Inez in the first roll and I had to get going, so I go to the shop, I'll be banned because 10 pulls later I got 4. Ooh. Okay. Alright, let's see what we get then. What are you doing here? I said as much. I'm here to enjoy the performance. Stay behind me, children. I mean no offense, Lieutenant Colonel Letou. Letou? I don't know. But you're not welcome here. Colonel Lettuce. Okay, yeah, I'm going to be calling him that now, from now on. No need to be so distant, Golding. I've always approved of your efforts. The more difficult the times, the more important education becomes. You're speaking as though you have nothing to do with these difficult times. You're always finely dressed, aren't you? No matter what the times. The only difference is you have more and more medals on your collar now. Helping the military commission govern Londinium is not an easy job. I've encountered my share of difficulties. But my love of this city has never changed. I'm just like you in that regard. I'm sure Tom the Cobbler agrees. Tom is a friend too. The memory of that incident pains me. He got drunk and babbled something about His Majesty and the Steam Knights. He could hardly even spell sarcasm. He's still alive. Life is about more than simply being alive. Are you accusing me of betraying Victoria, Golding? I respect your courage, ladies. But you're mistaken. I came here to take another look at this school, nothing more. It's unfortunate that you seem to have forgotten me, Miss Molly. Forgotten? I've spent just as much time here as you have. I even remember the children who came with you. Unfortunately, I was no longer so free after my graduation from the military academy. Golding, you trusted me once. We discussed the history of Gaul, the eternal pillars of literature. That will do, Lieutenant Colonel Letou. I'm grateful to your father for sponsoring the school over the years. He made efforts to light the torch of wisdom, to drive out ignorance and chaos. I once thought you like him, but you've extinguished that tiny spark with your own 2 hands. Is that so, Golding? Why do you think the school has survived this long? Why you don't even dare threaten us. I have no reason to threaten you, certainly not with the children around. We're all remnants of Gaul, Miss Golding. We know the merciless devastation of war, the snuffing of countless lives, and the destruction of human progress towards wisdom. I don't want Londinium to be the next, Leon? I wouldn't know how to pronounce that in French, to be honest. Nor do I want to see the beautiful, nor do I want to see the wonderful play that I just witnessed disappear forever. This is the burden that I have chosen to bear. I cannot endorse your views. The Royal Opera House of Place has long since been reduced to ash, but Ode au Triomphe continues to be performed around the world. Buildings fall and metal giants rust, but what we created within never dies. Our knowledge, our culture, our hope. The darker the clouds of war, the more important it is we hold on to our beliefs, trust in beauty, and remind ourselves what separates us from the animals. You believe you can win a conflict like this? What do you represent? Fear, power, violence. These things can't keep anyone suppressed forever. I must believe. I can only believe. As long as there is light, we will follow it. I envy you then, Miss Golding. Look up at the dark clouds above you. A storm is coming. There is still time before the thunderbolt falls. We have a choice. I hope to see the conclusion of the play someday. Okay, so he's one of those conspirators then. Conspirator's not the right word. Oh, what's it called? The people who work with the occupying forces. Oh well. It'll come to me in a moment. I'll say it randomly during like a next stage or something. The commander of the defense forces does not linger on the streets after leaving the school. Traitor, cowards. Those are all good terms. I mean more so the official one. I'm fairly certain it starts with a letter C, but it's not conspirator, it's something else. Opportunist, code bootleg. guys, calm down. These are all correct terms, I just mean the official one. Collaborator, thank you, Scarf. But yeah, he's giving me the impression that he's one of those collaborators that's with the occupying force, more so in the hopes of keeping people safe despite the occupation. So, like, you know, there's some who join out of opportunity, there's some who join out of fear, and then there are those who join because they think that they can help, like, mediate, you know, be the middleman sort of thing. That's kind of what I sort of seeing from him at the moment. He seems like he's not entirely fond of it. He came alone, and there are none of his men in the vicinity. She must find Adams and get the news out. No matter how amicable the commander looked, there must be a reason why he came to the school. Of course, there is also the fact that he's probably just really conniving. It could be the either or. Molly does not know, and neither do the children, but Golding does. Oh. Well, there we go. Why are there so many sarcasms? The path to the bookstore is a familiar one. She has tread it countless times in the past 2 years. But today, the path seems much longer than she remembers. She cannot see the end of it. She remembers the day that Sarkaz came. Can she truly change? I must believe. I must. Fear seizes Golding by the throat. She feels as though she is about to throw up. She turns and flees. Lance, Patty, the kids, no. Oh no. Ugh. Okay, there we are. You need not have bothered yourself with a task as simple as this, sir. I take back what I said about him. Then you should have arrested Miss Golding, Leto. Sir? It's what Manfred would have done. The old Red-Eye wouldn't have left a soul in the school alive. We know you are not Sarkaz. If you want to save one final shred of dignity for yourself, for the defense forces, for the people of the city... There it is. But we believe this is safer. Why you? Lance, Patty, I hope the children are safe. I'm scared, Lieutenant Colonel. Scared that people like you and the Sarkaz may hurt the children. Scared that the children could grow up to be like you. You sound just like our unconscious guest here. Yes, we're feeling. She cares about those young Victorians more than she cares about herself. We can feel it, but we find it difficult to understand, especially since she does not arise from ties of blood. Sir? We find you interesting. Through you, we understand ourselves, understand the Sarkaz better. You want answers? About what? You did not seem the kind of person to be curious about the Sarkaz, Leto. My apologies, sir. The mission always comes first. Take Miss Molly back, Lieutenant Colonel. Watch her closely. We will stay by Miss Golding's side and gather intelligence for the coming war. Yes, sir. What's the matter, sir? Someone has discovered us. Should I call the men? No need. They can't stop him. He has learned much from Teresa. We will have an interesting conversation. Whomst? Oh, okay. I guess never tell me. Okay. Molly? Did anything happen while I was away? No. Lance and Patty were scared. Ralph and the older kids took the little ones to get some rest. Good. I've been thinking. The children will enjoy the play, won't they? Our hard work will mean something. What are you talking about? No, nothing. Don't mind the commander of the defense forces, Miss Golding. I'm not feeling well. I need some rest. Sorry, Molly. Could you clean up? Sure. There should be an end to the play. Yeah. The Steam Knights arrive at the palace. The children will perform the final scene in a few days, won't they? Absolutely. There sure are a lot of possibilities, so long as the conclusion of the story hasn't yet been told. But even a play that's been performed can be changed. People always look for the latest. You've been watching for a long time, haven't you? Aha, that's who. Hello, Zom. The stage is right here. Why don't we start from the beginning? From Act 1. Everyone dreams about how things would have been if none of this had happened. Hello, Gelatin. Lurk. Thanks for the lurk. And hello, Lolka. What ifs mean nothing. But if there is even a remote possibility, why don't you join us on stage, sir? That's such a horrifyingly effective skill for espionage, though. Yeah, it is. I'll be catching up once Karma starts failing the stages. So far, it hasn't been too difficult. Good morning, sir. There is a look of concern on your face. Is something worrying you? The horn of victory has blown atop the walls for 3 days and nights. But why do I feel uneasy? Has our great general not returned triumphant? Praise his bravery and fearlessness. Bravery? Fearlessness? Perhaps. A call to arms united our spirit, but the price was ruin and hate. You should have served a king, but you gave your loyalty to a thief. The mysterious spectator takes a step forward, his gaze moving from his counterpart to the distance. He is not building up tension, but recalling memories of another battlefield, memories that have lain dormant for too long. This is cool art. It is not a king that I serve, but honesty and courage. Destruction awaits if you stay on this path. The destruction of the individual is nothing, compared to having to watch a tyrant bring this country to ruin. How do you know her end, sir? I can predict her end, as I know her beginning. How could you reminisce about your past, young as you are? Who can keep the sun from setting? Such desires are the greatest greed. I have seen countless acts of madness performed in the name of preserving this glory. They turn to banditry or fight amongst themselves, ultimately accelerating the decay of this country. Molly turns around out on stage, takes a few steps, then turns back, hiding her face in the shadows. But her counterpart speaks first. His expression is calm, like water undisturbed. He shifts his hand, then crosses them. Hands are... They will not admit that those who fall try to cling to the sunlight, but grasp only lightning. Hey, we get to see his face, finally. He looks awesome. Must they accept their fall? They can choose to not look back at the peak. If they would turn their gaze around, they would realise that it is no abyss lying before them, but fertile earth in which infinite possibilities lie. This started off as them reciting the first scene that was in the previous stage that the kids were acting out, but it seems like either this is the rest of the scene that we didn't see, or this is just them now now moving away from it and they're just talking about... I mean, obviously they were talking about themselves anyway, but I feel like they sort of dropped the premise a bit. You say the abyss can be conquered. You do not know the truth of the abyss, nor do you understand that time is short. The abyss lies before us. We can fill it with flesh and burn the remnants with blood. I don't think that's how that works, Chief. Leaving behind wide open fields for those who come after. Only when the ashes of old are blown away can a new crop grow on the field to feed the next generation. Okay. Right, let's see then.
Too bad some people just can't live and let live.
Oh, this music again. Okay, so this is going to be the stage music, I'm
Forwards.
guessing. I wonder... Oh, hello.
君たちのために
Does
地
it...
獄の一等地に部屋を用意しておいたか
No,
ら
it doesn't target.
安心してい
Okay.
ってらっしゃい
Interesting. Okay, I thought it would target.
怪我人はいない
Your orders.
I will not back down.
Yeah, so I'm going to put that there, see what
Alright then.
happens. Okay, they do target that.
Your orders, please. Can't you hear the children's cries?
Fear not! Here I come!
Hey, this will be a bit difficult.
Doesn't matter to me. So many weaknesses.
This is actually going to be quite a bit difficult.
I'll charge the weak spot. Relax. It'll be over in an instant.
大丈夫
This is going to be a lot of gas. Okay. Now, not there. Here.
This gavel of justice is weighty. Spero che siate pronti.
Your orders. Can't you hear the children's cries?
ちょっとからかってあげようっと
Your orders, please.
私ならここに I'll do my best
Okay, that's fine. I've got penance up there now. Not there because she will get targeted. Okay, I'm just gonna do it there. It's too...
通さなければいいんだよね I'm so trying to get distance There
yeah, I'll
What's the
stand...
law there is no such thing as absolute justice. But I still...
真っ二つにしちゃうから問題ないわこういう香りは好き
Speeding up.
ロックンロール
Your orders.
Yeah, fine. Whatever you say.
Doctor, leave the big guys to me. Face me!
What's the law does not specify. There is no such...
This is a lot of people.
怖くて真っ二つにしちゃうから
Whew.
You showed
That
me
was,
even weeds
interesting.
struggling to grow in the ruins can stand tall. Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually kind of liked that. That was quite a nice stage. That was a lot of people towards the end. I'm surprised it didn't bleed into the next line of defense. To be honest, that was quite a lot of them. Twigs that crave. Ugh. Produces rot eaters when destroyed or at the end of the stage. That doesn't sound good. It is the unknown that nurtures fear, so we must first take full stock of their essence. Okay. Oh, okay, this is what these are then. I mean, rot eaters and... I'm going to assume Naxa there. Or Naxa there, whatever they called it. Skyfire, click. And cutter. I still need to E2 click. I sort of haven't really bothered because I've got golden glow. Twigs. Oh, they give off gas as well. Okay, that's going to be a bit annoying. What are these?
面倒だな。貴様の生死は私が決める。
Harmful effects detected. Initializing treatment program. Scanning complete. The twigs at cave have polluted the nearby ground, causing continuous damage to nearby operators. Operators fighting on the ground will take more damage. I'll take care of it. A caution. Target structure is complex, and attacking may have unpredictable results. Oh hey, I know.
テクニックを使えば
Great throat.
これくらい楽
It's
勝
been a
でしょ
while since I've seen you.
戦場に出たからには死ぬ覚悟を決めろ。
It's attacking. It's some sort of Sarkaz art. The necrosis damage it inflicts. Oh, come on, not more of that. Inflicts, prevent the use of skills when it accumulates, while also causing. Yeah, I know that bit. Let's finish this quickly.
敵の視界には何も映らない。心配ね。戦場に出たからには死ぬ覚悟を決めろ。
Oh, oh! When it said rot eater, I was expecting like small little bug or something, like the those worm things from the previous chapter. I wasn't thinking of a big chonky boy.
テクニックを使えばこれくらい楽勝でしょ。
It turns into a monster, but it looks pretty weak. Analysis shows that it absorbs the strength of fallen allies. The more of its allies fall on battle, the more powerful it absorbs, increasing its strength. It will be at its strongest if all its allies are defeated. Support squad has arrived. Please instruct as to whether to prioritize its destruction or reinforce its defense. Oh, I see. So you either kill them first, or you hope that your defense is strong enough to deal with them at their peak, at the end of the stage. Okay, interesting.
Kneel before the flame of the heavens.
I'm gonna do that. And sure, why not?
私の役目は刀を振るうことだけ。私からは敵は見えるけど、向こうからは残念だったね。貴様の生死は私が決める。
The wise always take
Most maps are
initiative.
both options.
いくらでも残れたね。テクニックを使えばこれくらい楽勝でしょ。
Initiation complete. Initiating healing process.
はいよ。みんなどいて。
いくらでも待って振り返るな。私からは敵が見えるけど、向こうからは残念だったね。
3, 4, 5,
What are your
6.
plans?
Boom.
May the flames of the sun devour you!
テクニックを使えば
Okay, this will be interesting.
このままノーカットで作戦記録に使えるじゃん。
When you look upon the battlefield. Okay, so when you look on the when you look upon the battlefield and see children bearing weapons, what crosses your mind? Another day at Rhode Island. Unto the flood. A hole. That could be useful. Oh, there's a couple of holes. Although I don't see why anyone will go this way, so not really much point. I suppose I could pull push, but would it really be worth it? I might at the very least pull these ones. But maybe not. I'll see. I'll use what I've got at the moment and then see if it will be funny. Because I actually, when I think about it, I don't really have much in the way of pullers. I mean, I do, but they're low level. Actually, they're all low level. Even my push is low level. I really don't use them very often. You'd think I'd use this funny stuff more often, but I guess not. Okay, let's have a look at what we got here then. Okay. I might stick with this. Oh, straight into it. Okay, that's good.
Follow me.
Oh.
Forward.
皆さん、感染源と思われるものには絶対に触らないようにしてくださいね。
How much damage do you do?
Here I come.
Quite a bit.
怪我人はいない。
Doctor, leave the face me!
My toxicant is ready.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, fine.
Hmm.
あいつらを通さなければいいんだよね。
Doesn't matter to me. Catch.
ちょっとからかってあげようっと。ドクターの言うと真っ二つにしちゃう。Honey to me, poison to you.
Okay, so they do move around like that, so that could have been a good push. Eh. You are annoying.
Forwards.
Oh, I've got to get rid of.
I'll charge the weak spots. Face me!
Now's the time to help everyone out.
Yeah, I'm not going to entertain you. You can go there. And yes.
Awaiting your orders.
It's my duty to stand here.
Whatever you say.
Do that.
Get away from me, please!
Oh wow, okay, they did quite a bit of damage there. Oh, that might be a problem. Ow! Ah, no, not you there. There. Under this.
問題ないわ。
Forwards.
あいつらを通さなければいいんだよね。バラージュ
Okay, this is gonna be... These are quite tanky.
Kick ass!
さっさとやっちゃおう。戦場はさ、大丈夫。すぐ治るから。
Eek, yikes. Okay, they are very tanky when I feel like there's not really much time to get them while they're weak, though. Like, you're almost always going to have a decent number of enemies killed before you get to them. Which is not exactly an easy one to deal with. I mean, if I really wanted to target them first, I'd have to have, like, loads of low attack defenders just block the entire map for a little while, kill them, and then get rid of them. But that's, like, way too many operators to bring to the table. So, really, you just sort of have to deal with them being tough for the most part. Anyway, you saw it, Morgan. The guards at the warehouse were so nervous when they didn't even see me coming. Alright, you win today. Take your jerky. Ha! Knew you'd be cross. Next time you come with me... Oh, next time you come... Ah. Next time you can come with. And Luz has to keep the guard. Has to keep guard. They're staring at us. Who? What are you staring... What's this about? Get out of the way already. I need a drink from the kitchen. Thirsty after all that work. You shouldn't have done that. You mean lure away the Sarkaz patrol, giving your people a chance to escape the warehouse? Yes. Funny way to say thank you. Or did I hear you wrong? Our comrades in Sedin are grateful, and so are we. The mission went well, but why did you have to burn the warehouse? It belongs to a Victorian merchant, not the Sarkaz. The Sarkaz were just occupying it. Ah, those fat cats are as cowardly as they are greedy. They want to help the Sarkaz. I'm happy I'm happy to make them suffer for it. You do understand you're just driving them into the arms of the Sarkaz. Even better. More than just warehouse to burn for those traitors. That's gangster talk. Not the way of the Self-Salvation Corps. Do you still insist on working with these people, Lady Isabel? My name is Dagda here. It's just Lady is a Dagda. When Lady Arladale introduced you and Her Highness to us, we thought... Siege told you on day one that it was the Glasgow gang working with the Corps, not Her Highness Alexandrina and the Knight of the Tower. Do you really want to see a hoodlum lead us? Even take the throne? What shit for brains gives you the right to say that about Vina? Sword back in its place, Morgan. We're on their ground. Many of us would rather follow you and Cumberland. Stuff it. I mean, you said your piece. As long as we still stand together, you should not speak ill of our fellows. Sorry, I spoke out of turn. You shouldn't have stopped me. And let you make a mess for Venus clean up. Not to mention the bunny and doctor from Rhode Island. Next time, think about your company before you lose your head. Never thought the day would come that You'd be the one talking to me about losing my head. Fair enough. Gotta change. And adapt to the environment. Look how Dadga is doing. Dagda, not Dadga. Don't say that. Feels weird. You think I want to congratulate you? Living your way doesn't feel too nice. But there's one thing the past couple of days have taught me, Morgan. But there's one thing the past couple of days have taught me, Morgan. We have to adapt to keep up with Vina. Here, your jerky. And neither of us won the day. Keep it. I've got no appetite. I've been thinking... I've been thinking, Hannah. Is this the kind of life Vina wants? Since when did nobles and merchants give her the respect she deserves? You're not thinking from the right angle. They'll realize Vina is a good leader, and the respect Vina gets, she would have earned herself. Slimy noble, okay. Ah, Lady Allerdale, finally. Sorry, I've been busy. I heard you were looking for a buyer for the steam armor. The news reached you quickly. Only rumours, only rumours. A friend mentioned that a suit of steam armor from Londinium might appear on the market. But the transaction fell through at the last minute. I see. I would not recommend that you sell something so valuable too easily. It's hard to get a good price under current market conditions. Thank you for your advice. I'm just trying to do something useful with what little assets my family has left. I understand. What little money we have means nothing to the Sarkaz. Has the banquet not yet started? There is no need to wait for me. Oh, we can't have that now. You've been the pillar of Central Londinium for ages. It's all thanks to you that we're alive today. How is one even supposed to negotiate with a bunch of lunatics who don't care about money? You flatter me, sir. I'm just a nobody who spoke up a few times at the unjust treatment that those like you have received. Now, don't say that. House Cumberland will undoubtedly rise again under your leadership. Yes, the past is a past now. When Londinium knows peace again, not to say that she's not at peace right now, of course. Yeah. In any case, House Cumberland will have our gratitude. Lieutenant Colonel Letou is here. We salute you. Civilians don't salute soldiers. It's an honour, Lieutenant Colonel. You have not graced us with your presence for many nights. We are most grateful for your efforts to keep the peace. I've come into a few bottles of excellent wine. Do you happen to be the one who makes them? From previous event? Anyway. They may not have been so impressive in the old days, but in times like these, they are a rarity. I'll have my butler bring them to your residence. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be no more banquets from this day forth. The military commission will be interviewing you soon. Good luck. Damn, okay. Huh? Wait, no, what do you mean? Lieutenant Colonel Letou! Lieutenant Colonel Letou! Lady Allerdale, you must speak to Lieutenant Colonel. This is serious. People will die. Lieutenant Colonel, please, don't go. Miss, is this... The Sarkaz have been biding their time. They let these fools wallow in luxury in order to keep the dukes from coming together. There is nothing any given duke would like more than to become the master of Victoria. At the centre of Victorian high society at the centre of Victorian high society is Londinium, and whomever makes an enemy of Londinium nobility makes an enemy of the entire state. Such an offence against Victoria would have forced the dukes to put aside their individual interests and join forces to march on Londinium. But the Sarkaz don't care anymore. Probably because the dukes already seem to be marching towards Londinium. They've achieved their goal. Well, that too, I suppose. Some think what befell Londinium the past few years a disaster, but now war has truly come. What about us then? Could you talk to Lieutenant Colonel Letou? As the noble suggested, you might... They called me Pillar, but whom amongst them set foot in Cumberland Manor before the Sarkaz took control of Londinium? Which of the Duke's true friends participated in these pretentious banquets? I'm simply a figurehead for nobles who lack ships on their side, or those who are trying to protect themselves. They flocked to the Cumberland Banner, so Cumberland may take the fall for them. So what you mean is... Let's go, Elshi. Inform our Self-Salvation Corps and Rhode Island friends to evacuate the Duckle Manor immediately. It is no longer safe. So I'm assuming she's just going to let them get taken. We'll take one last look at our ancestral home. Allerdale, you are... A letter from the Duke. A few days in Ashtrig, then Highbury. Look at all those factories and houses packed tight together. Never seen a place so cramped. Can we go back to Central Londinium after this mission, Captain? And do what? I don't know what Manfred was thinking, hiring kids like you who've barely taken a life before. I'm not a kid. I did a lot of jobs back in Columbia with Grimm, when he was still around. Why does Grimm sound familiar? Grimm, eh? I have babysit now because he got himself killed in Sardine. Oh, maybe that's why. I should have taken his head and nabbed the bounty beforehand. I wish I had Paprika. I think I've got her? I can't quite remember. Weren't you friends? It's not my job to teach you how to be a mercenary, kid. But it is yours to read the map. Where do we go next? Munition factory number 11 is just ahead. Is just up ahead. Or just ahead. Same thing. General Manfred gave us a pretty long list. These are all older workers who know something, right? Just take them somewhere with no witnesses and kill them? I would kill everyone in the factory if it were up to me. All that crap about killing only the members who know anything. Does he have any idea how much trouble that is? I will say, as much as Manfred likes to toot his own horn, he's decidedly un-Sarkaz sometimes when it comes to his decisions. Well, here's the boss. So, Miss Now, yeah, thank you for the reminder. Whatever. Put away the list and let's go. So I'm assuming Granny will be on the list. Probably along with all of the other names that we've seen from the flashback. Faced. Pato. It's been a year. I've missed you. Sorry. I should have tried to send word. Never mind that. I'm so glad to see you. For the past year, I've been telling everyone you've definitely come back alive. Remember that vent over there? There's a bit of a platform outside to the other end of it. A few years ago, you said you'd jump off it and onto the factory next door. We were scared out of our minds. It was, what, more than 30 meters off the ground? A fall and you'd be dead for sure. But you dared to jump, and then Tommy jumped, Day jumped, and in the end, I jumped too. Whenever they ask me if I think you're dead, I tell them to look up that vent. We weren't afraid of anything, were we? So, these are your Self-Salvation Corps friends? Hello. Yeah, looks well read to me. I heard there were all kinds in the Corps. I guess the rumours are true. The Doctor is definitely well read. I'm partnered with the Corps. You have partners? It's sounding more and more like a real deal, isn't it? So, why have you come back? Anything I can help with? Pato. Yeah, Catherine. I'm sorry. Get back to work. Yes, ma'am. But Feist is back, isn't he? But Feist is back, okay. But Feist is back, isn't he? He's not going anywhere. Don't you worry about him right now. As for your friend, we should talk somewhere else. Don't blame Catherine, Feist. She's been protecting us from the Sarkaz for the past year. It's thanks to her that we haven't lost anybody. Well, that's about to change real quick. Oh, it's probably going to include him as well. There was one time when things got really bad, and she called on the leader of the defense forces to mediate. But the Sarkaz have been putting more pressure on us. On Catherine. I know, Pato. I don't blame Granny one bit. When I joined the Corps, I truly understood what I was facing. I knew what a difficult decision Granny had to make. If she survives this, she would make a good operator. That's all I'm saying. Alright, talk. What did you come back for? We're looking for something. Something? Yes, a hidden Sarkaz supply line that's fueling their mad war. We're certain the line ends here in the industrial district. We need to find it. Pai says no one knows the district better. No one knows the district better than you, Granny. I'm sure you can help. That's why I came to you. Flattering me won't do you any good. We just need a clue. But yes, we don't want to cause trouble for the factory. Why do you think I would help you? Maybe I already told Pato to call the Sarkaz mercenaries. If that's the case, I'll have to flee with the others. Tell me, how many died in that incident you caused in Sedine? Do you remember their names? Their faces? Do you remember what they looked like when they died? Their last words? Don't rush your answer, Feist. And don't try to bluff your way through it. I don't know what this doctor of yours thinks, but I know you. You think you're smart, but being smart isn't enough to fool death. Catherine, a bunch of Sarkaz just showed up at the door. Doctor, we need to get out of here. They say Lieutenant Colonel Letou, a Defense Force officer, wants to see you. You're to be escorted. What? George, watch these two and make sure they stay put. Care for a smoke? Don't bother trying to butter me up. Lieutenant Colonel Letou wants to see me. Yes. We've been meeting our targets. Nothing for him to worry about. Whatever. He wants to see you. Come with us. Give me a minute. I have something to take care of first. We're not asking, old bag. I have to put someone in charge. It's very sudden after all. We can wait a little, can't we? I don't think the General wants a scene. Ugh. You have 10 minutes. Good enough. Granny, why are they looking for you? None of your business. But shut up and come with me.
負傷者ゼロだね。さすがはドクターの指揮。
Not gonna lie, I thought there was a stage. I forgot the stage came first before the cutscene. Ah, shit. That's not too bad. Ooh. Take. What was the next one? 12. Okay. At a standstill. War, when befalling the commoner, is a great mountain that can crush in an instant, capable of destroying all hope they once had. Okay, still only one. That's a pretty nasty place to put it, though. Oh! I could put, Mizuki there. He'll do damage to it and they will ignore him. Oh, I just saw that. Oh, okay, that's fine actually. Just 2 people. It's a 2-point chokehold. That's not too bad. Have you tried April in this chapter? I'm not entirely sure if I even have her. Mizuki? Do I? I don't know. I might do that. Marksman Sniper. Ambriel, Acid. May? Oh, I do have April. Unfortunately, she's not leveled up. I've got a few. I'm sort of doing it slowly for them. I'm currently leveling up Posit at the moment. Why? What does she do? Attacks aerial enemies. Her second skill makes her invisible on deploy. Oh, interesting. Huh.
チームメイト同
That
士で
could be
も
useful.
みんなの前に出ない方がいい？わかった。ドクターの言う通りにするよ。
Do I still not have... Oh, I'll use that. Good for the drone thingies, break stuff without bother. Yeah. Do I still not... Ah, that... Nice. Okay, I'm at nice % trust. Alright, grab that one.
チームメイト同士でもみんなの前に出ない方がいい？わかった。
Okay.
ドクターの言う通りにするよ。
That shouldn't be too bad. Now... Okay, cutscene first. Feist thought he was getting a talking to. He was ready, thinking about what he'd say to move the heart of the stubborn old worker before him. Catherine has seen too much. Her temper is harder than the machines in the factory. His cleverness with words has never been of any use before Catherine. Her fierce gaze sees through all, turning his wits to mush. Feist feels a familiar sense of helplessness. He always turns back to a little boy before his grandmother. Clumsy, excitable, prone to saying something he instantly regrets. He can only wait for his grandmother to speak first. But Catherine says nothing. She leads Feist down a long path, When they finally stop, he glances at her expression. Surprisingly, sees no hint of anger. And what's up ahead? Nothing. I remember this workshop. You used to come here by yourself. Why is the production line empty, though? What did you think this place was? Well, the old workers wouldn't say, but Pato made a bet with Day that it's the secret workshop where they used to build steam armor. Tell Pato he won the bet. So this is really the steam armor? No, I don't understand. I followed you down this path a few times. I heard the machines running and the conveyor belt moving. They still run. Sometimes if someone hits the switch. There we go. Why was it abandoned? Because the steam lights disappeared? No, even without orders, these machines are too dear to be left idle. Why? Why indeed? The aging worker pats the machine as though she was asking the cold metal. Vice realizes that all the machines are spotless, with nary a speck of dust on them. It is as though time has stopped in the secret workshop. Do you know why I'm the only one who came here? Cam, Mike, Branson, they should have been standing here, and Harvey. He'd be responsible for watching the thrusters. When a production line moves as one, I guarantee you've never heard a song quite like it. Harvey. Isn't that Dad's name? Yes. Your dad was the smartest worker in the entire city. He came up with all sorts of crazy ideas. I've only seen him in photos. I wish you could have seen him in the flesh. You'll like him. Too much so. Too much so at times. Harvey was an expert in steam engines, and he was like an engine himself, going so fast I couldn't keep up. I should have kept up. Didn't Dad go missing after getting caught in some business on the streets? Well, that's what you said whenever I asked. Some business. It happened some 26 years ago. Oh, if what happened 26 years ago could be called as much. I don't know where the "it happened" bit came from. Okay, so that puts him at least 26, probably like 27 to 28. Okay, interesting. "26 years ago? Didn't His Majesty..." Yes, Londinium fell into chaos overnight. The nobles were at each other's throats and the dukes led the way. Lots of factories got hit, especially military ones making steam armor. We were forced to stop work. Harvey, he was young then, almost the same age as you are now. He loved the factory and he loved the city. I never had any doubt about that night. He left the factory with the other workers to protest against the nobles. He wanted the dukes to hear the voices of the workers and protect our livelihood. Carmen, would you want older elder characters like Catherine to be playable? In general, I like variety among characters when it comes to, especially when it comes to gachas. It's part of the reason why you don't see me playing too many games like Honkai where all of the characters are like, you know, one gender, one sort of build and all that sort of stuff. I like having a wide cast of characters, which is why I really like Arknights. So yeah, I definitely would I definitely wouldn't mind more older characters and such. Naive, wasn't he? I think back to it on quiet nights. Was it a cold one in December? Was his blood warm when it came out of his chest? Dad did it for his ideals. You want to say how noble it is to sacrifice for your ideals? The leaders of your Self-Salvation Corps and that doctor of yours, is that what they say when they mourn their dead friends? It's what Commander Clavizier would say. As for the doctor, the doctor is even more quiet than usual at times like those. But I can feel the pure, heartfelt sincerity. The dead are in no position to appreciate their greatness. As for the ones they leave behind, these words of consolation are like cigarette smoke, light and fluffy, comforting for the moment, but when it leaves your lungs... She takes a breath and a pause, then breathes out again. The temperature is not low enough to leave a white fog. Only one thing is for certain. 41 workers walked onto the largest street in central Londinium on that night, 26 years ago. None came back. Nothing changed about the city, the nobles, the wealthy. They pretended nothing happened, but this workshop would never be the same again. By the way, what are your plans for Lone Trail? It will be the longest story in Arknights, so there are multiple streams per week. That will most likely be the case. I'm assuming the event itself is 2 weeks, like most of those events. So yeah, I will definitely have to do 2, maybe even 3 weeks. Oh, okay, so it's longer. That's fair then. Okay, that's good. I'm glad it's an extra week compared to the usual then. In which case, yeah, probably 2 to 3 streams a week. Try to get through it as quickly as I can, just so that, you know, I don't miss anything. I'm quite curious, because what was the longest story before Lone Trail? Was it Stoltifera Navis, or was it Near Light? I feel like it was one of those two that was the previously longest thing. Did you watch latest anime episode? Oh, haven't yet. I need to. I'll probably be watching it after this stream. Chapter 8 and Near Light. Okay, so it was Near Light that was the longest event. I'm too old to train another group of workers as good as them, Feist. They should have taken over for me. Harvey should have been the one to teach you all you knew. Granny. Believe it or not, I never blamed Harvey, and I never blamed you. But think about it carefully. You should have thought about it carefully when you tried to lead Pato and the others into your rebellion. If you survive this war, but the others don't, will you be like me, fraught with grief and regret night after night, leaning over machines with no one to use them? I don't understand your decision 3 years ago, Granny. I didn't, rather. But now, when I think back to that day, when I try to put myself in your shoes, it would have taken me a long time to make that decision. You're right, being smart isn't enough to fool death. But compromise and subservience won't get the job done either. Catherine takes a drag of her cigarette and says nothing. I can't say I've thought this through. I can't guarantee we'll be able to drive out the Sarkaz. I've been feeling the weight on my shoulders ever since Rhode Island told us that we didn't have much time. The new event on CN is apparently even longer than Lone Trail. Oh god. What? Just start bringing out chapter-long events. Well, I suppose technically most events have been chapter-long. Well, some of them have been. I'm afraid I'll do something stupid again, but I can't stop here. Otherwise, I'll never be able to face Johnny, Gabby, and the Self-Salvation Corps fighters who gave their lives. Also, make sure you at least know the summary of Dorothy. Yeah, so what I've got planned at the moment is I've done Mansfield Break, which apparently might have some bits. It's not entirely linked, but it has some things to read. I'm going to read the manga, the Rhine Lab manga tomorrow. I'll be reading it on stream because quite a few people have requested it. And then, yes, I'll be reading or watching a summary of the Dorothy event as well. So by the time I play it on Tuesday, I will have caught up on pretty much everything. Mansfield is the first part of... Okay, so it is actually part of it. Okay. Too young, too naive, little brat. You there, Doctor. You look like you've got a grip on yourself, unlike this boy. Would you kindly take care of him? Don't worry. There's a hidden compartment on the third drawer of my desk. What? The sarcasm watching closely. There's no place for you here. Read it and get out. Don't bring trouble for anyone else. Thanks, Granny. You catch a glimpse of Catherine's expression as she passes you. Sorrow and gratification. Hello, Cat. How you doing? Let's take a look, Doctor. Granny's room is over here. Do you have the goods? All here. How's Mr. Badder? I heard he's ill. Anyway, it's all here. Our business is concluded. Good. Please pass on my gratitude. I keep thinking that those people look like the Major. I'm doing great. How's the stream? The stream's going good. One after another, heavily armed mercenaries emerge from the warehouse. Their leader walks towards the Self-Salvation Corps and extends the hand, not holding a weapon. Oh, you! Are you our new employer? I'm Totter. Hello, Totter. Thank you for making the trip. The container was a little stuffy. Not that it's much different out here. Heh. Welcome to Londinium. Team 8, take our new friends to the base. Watch out for Sarkaz patrols. Yes, ma'am. Come with us. The scales tip ever so slightly in our favour. I'm glad to hear it. Can't stream for long as I've got Phasmo for a bit, but want you to come back. Okay, no worries. I'll be making sure to come stare at you when I finish 2. Stay for long. Yeah, I know what you meant, Kat. Just checked, the nearest CNN event is 148 words. Lone Trail is 143. Chapter 8 is 142. Okay, Jesus. That's going to be very long. The main stories are getting way shorter than the side stories these days. Chapter 12 is 30% shorter than Chapter 11. Okay. I suppose that sort of makes sense. The main missions are not recurring, but they're continuously updated, whereas the events are one-time things which then come back like maybe a year later or something, and then they come back later and become permanent. So there is a time in which you're not playing them, so I suppose it sort of makes sense. Also, hello, Les. Your word count will run out. We don't have much time left, Clavisia. They've begun culling the nobles. We've evacuated the ducal residence and moved to Hideout Beta. Beta? Same thing. Which is better concealed. It's safe for now, but I'm not sure for how long. The number of Sarkaz in the city is increasing. The bulk of their forces will return in 3 days. The Naxxir, their king. The terrible corpse eater. Okay, I was right. The rot stuff is probably him. Or his lot. Amir told me about his powers. He eats war, turning the battlefield into part of himself simply by standing on it. How do we defeat the battlefield itself? The Duke's fleet must be united to win. Our soldiers have to avoid him. That's why we need to move before he returns. They're living legends. The Sarkaz royal court. If they truly plan to suppress the entire city over the heads of Lieutenant Colonel Latour and the defense forces. You're good at math, Clavisia. What are the chances we triumph over these terrible legends? Very good then. Self-Salvation Corps didn't come this far by crunching numbers. The fighters are doing their best. Whatever may come, at least our hearts are one, aren't they, Adladale? Huh? Oh, yes, of course. What are you thinking about? I'm thinking... I hope tomorrow goes as well as these past few days have. The only problem is that the pacing of the main story is way slower than Reunion Arc. Not much actually happens each chapter. I suppose. Though, how many chapters is the Victoria arc at the moment? It's, what, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 if we're going to count 13, so that's 5 so far. And thingy was 8, so it depends. It's possible that we might end up with a couple of long chapters towards the end of the arc. Don't you think they've been gone a little... don't you think they've been going a little too smoothly lately? Oh, that's a good thing, innit? Good things don't happen on their own. I agree with Vina. You get lucky once, sure, but not every time. Hey, those men have been loitering for a while. Oop. The man on the corner glances at them briefly. He should not have been able to see so deep into the alley, but he suddenly pulls back his gaze and briskly walks away with his head lowered. Dagda. Yes? Tell Aladale. Tell the Corps to evacuate the warehouse district immediately. Yes, Siege. They want to know why. We are being watched. No time to explain. Dagda, Indra, Morgan, proceed with the plan. Yep, there they are. Oh. Is everyone out? I don't know. Run now, talk later. That seemed a bit suspicious. That seemed a bit suspicious. Is that another bill?
You people, I don't think I'll even remember your faces after this one. Anyway, let's just get started.
Oh shit, there. Oh, that's fine, she's an AoE.
At your service. That.
This is going to be a problem, though.
It's my duty to stand here.
I hope this is going badly.
Poison is not contagious.
Okay, there we go.
Your orders.
No, no. Oh, this one.
You've never ever noticed the hideous grins of conspirators.
医者ならここに。ここだよ。ドクターはいつだって僕の居場所を見つけてくれるんだ。
Can you do it?
At your service. Of that. At your service.
Fear not! Here I come!
Your orders. Can't you feel the cities crumbling away?
Now's the time to help.
Oh, I should have
everyone
pointed
out.
her upwards. I like this music playing.
ええ、気を確かに。
Yeah, that thing ain't gonna die.
Please, my toxins will slowly burn your life away.
Ooh.
ドクターの指示が僕の道しるべだよ。
Oh, it's healing it. Right, that's a bit annoying.
いつでもいいよ。
Yeah.
前菜代わりにもならないね。
This is gonna be god awful.
Show me what you got there.
Your orders,
of that.
please. Awaiting your orders.
Okay, I'm gonna wait until he's on the point. There we go.
Of justice is waiting. Who's next?
There we go.
やっちゃおう。問題
Use
ない
that.
ほら。しっかり。
Okay, that didn't do much. Feed bodies. Feed bodies.
ちょっとからかってあげようっと。
Got GG up.
Away from me, please.
There we go. Nice.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, I deal with those ASAP, right? Yeah, I was trying to, but I didn't realize he was being healed. So the entire time that Mizuki was doing damage, it basically meant nothing. Okay. See, that would have been nice to have someone like Muina if the game would give me him. Just put him there, he wouldn't get, he wouldn't block anyone, and then use the skill, destroy the thing, destroy the thing. They're still on our tails. You should go. Someone from your station shouldn't, yeah, someone of your station shouldn't risk her life for us. Would you say the same if it was Aladale or Clavizia? You're different. Heads down. Huh? Siege's hammer swings through the air, barely missing the fighter's head. A massive hole appears in the wall, with the sound of bricks cracking. Within lies the severed hands of Sarkaz caster, still holding his wand. Different, am I? You... Stay close. I'm not in the habit of slowing down my fights. We haven't shaken them yet. These Sarkaz are persistent. I'm gonna call you Bill for a little while. Their uniform is the same, but the Sarkaz of Sedin are like children compared to these. They're different. What should we do? Keep making circles in the street? You used to sit in front of a desk, didn't you? Huh? Yes, I was an accountant. Why? How did you travel? By car? Yes. Do you know how wide a Londinium alley is? How long it takes to run from one end of Wellington to another? How many sewer entrances there are on each block? No. They do. Who does? Over here! Vina! Target sighted. Hostiles in the shadows. This way, Vina. I hear explosions coming from the safe house. The core fighters aren't moving quick enough. We have to cover their retreat. This way. Siege! Dagda, what's the situation? Clavizia evacuated with most of them. Aladale... I'm fine. You're hurt. I can take care of myself. You should not have returned, Your Highness. They're inside. Kill them all. Forgive my bluntness, Siege. I don't think you should. You don't think I should have come back either? No, I don't think you should be at the front by yourself. Allow me to stand by your side from time to time. Very well. Come forward, Dagda. You need rest, Aladale. The daughter of the Duke of Cumberland can't lose to the daughter of the Count of Manchester. I know Aladale and Dagda better. Then I'll stand by your side as your friend, Aladale. What about you, soldier? Can you stand? Yes. Then grab your weapon and fight. Londinium, this iron jungle belongs to us. It's time to show the Sarkaz who is a hunter and who's a hunted. Your station won't save you, Aslan. We don't care. The Sarkaz future is now. You'll be buried with the past. The future is now, old man. Also, wait, they know? How do they know? Wait. Look out! Ambush! Behind the shelves! You're sharp. Hey, over here! No, here! Do it, Siege! Now then. Look out! Flashy, but pointless. Playtime's over, drop your weapons, and you can die a quick death. Make things easier for the both of us. See, that's not exactly much of a threat. If you're gonna die anyway, you just keep fighting. Like, I don't understand half these Sarkaz threats. They keep mentioning this threat, like every time we've seen a Sarkaz group, whether they be mercenaries or these lots, they always say, you know, give up and we'll let you die quick. Like, come on. Like, if we're gonna die, we're gonna die. Just, let's keep this dance going. Sorry, I got careless. No need to apologize. The Sarkaz gazes at Siege, and Siege gazes at Aladale. She raises her hand slowly. The hammer falls to the ground with a bang. She winks at Aladale, who raises the corner of her mouth. Wait, wind? But we're indoors. It's... Damn it, it's arts incoming. Vina, catch. Now then. Are you alright? I'm in a good mood, at least. The warehouse is collapsing. Pull out. Surround them outside. Your safe house doesn't seem so solid. Safe houses aren't meant to be impregnable fortresses. Follow me. Yeah, I feel like if your safe house is Fort Knox, you're kind of doing it wrong. The hidden passage shouldn't... the hidden passage should be blocked under the rubble, but we need to up a pace. Nothing puts you in a good mood like wrecking a sarcasm. Hello, Tor. You need to get your wounds wrapped, Aladale. I'm fine. Dagda, take the fighter back to the Self-Salvation Corps. We'll split up. Siege. You showed your leadership. Now it's our turn to show what we can do. Thank you. Where are you going? Aladale's injuries can't wait. I'll find somewhere nearby. Wait, I remember this place. Do you notice a lot more visual effects? Yeah. I suppose I'm a little bit used to it now because I first saw them with Il Sidicusano. So before I actually reached this point where they had already started doing it, I already got used to. But I do really like the effects for it. I'm glad to see a little bit more movement and action as well. I mean, obviously there's only so much you can do with static sprites, but it's still, I like how creative they are with it. Surprised you seem to have an impression of this alley, Vina. And that afternoon when you brought back the Size of Kings with them. What? Nothing. Let's keep going. This path connects the palace to the ducal residence. Not many know of its existence. I have assurances from those who... Oh, I have assurances from one whose word carries weight that Cumberland Manor will be safe until tomorrow. Enough for us to get these little flesh wounds treated. Vina. You knew I was there. I know what sounds I should hear from outside my room. My dear Lady Vina, staring at me won't heal the wounds on my back. Would you kindly change the bandages? Right. Sorry, was I too heavy-handed? It's nothing. I just let my guard down when there aren't many eyes on me. When there aren't so many eyes on me, rather. You bled a lot. How many times did you get hit? Most of them don't hurt anymore. If I reacted faster, maybe it would have saved you a scar. Chat, calm down. Escaping from those fighters was no mean feat. Besides, I've been wanting to thank you for days. You've helped the Corps a lot, and you even saved the old steam armor. I have a responsibility, Aladale. I I don't want to see you lose anything else. No matter, Vina. If there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's that life usually doesn't go the way we want. If it did, we wouldn't be hiding in this dark little room. It didn't look little in the background. And we wouldn't be sitting with a bunch of stinking bandages. I really like this artwork. Let me think. We'd be sitting in the garden, taking tea together, discussing poetry and the weather. We could go hunting. The alcorns are plentiful in the countryside this season. They run fast, but stop and stare when they see a crowd. Do you like hunting? I don't know. I've almost forgotten how it feels myself, but I'm guessing you don't like dancing. At least, not at those onerous dance parties in the social season. I don't like them either. I will say though, it's interesting to think like alternate universe, right? Instead of this, like literally having like sitting down having tea, the princess, if the king hadn't been killed, or the Queen of Victoria, and I don't know, would she be Lady Cumberland or is she still Lord Cumberland? I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, just like their fathers in the past. Well, I suppose we can only hope that becomes the future, at least. The dresses are so much stiffer than hunting attire, and so tight they rob you of your appetite for the banquet. I can imagine. And what? I'm thinking the hunting outfit would look better on you. Vina, yes? Perhaps we should have seen more of each other. Much more. Fate robbed us of a beautiful life against our will. Luckily, we still have the future. What's the matter? You look surprised. I'm talking about the future. You don't do that often? Back when I was running for my life, I hardly ever thought about the future. The past was in my dreams, and the future, it was a fog, where I couldn't see anything. But it's not a flaw, Vina. It's a virtue. Nobles like to talk about the future, but most of them are more concerned about the dinner menu. Hello, Merwind. It's not because they've grown numb to life, but because they understand how precious the present is. Like the present now. Yes. Like the present now. Huh. Elsie. Good morning, Lady Allerdale. Everything is in order. The steam armor, why have you taken it out? It's too big to take with us. Is that so? Has Her Highness Alexandrina left? Yes, she has her own mission. Your injuries are fine, thanks to Her Highness. I haven't seen you smile like this in a long time. Am I being too calm before the storm? It does bring back long-forgotten feelings to stand with Her Highness and the others. It's been some time since I encountered someone I could trust. Her Highness Alexandrina saved this armor for you. I may be a lowly servant, but I feel a sense of gratitude. It's pride of Cumberland. Pride. The armor and your honoured ancestors. I remember how you used to talk to them. Children like to wallow in fantasy. But I learned 26 years ago that it's no hero, just a broken hunk of metal. We've all changed, yet the armor seems frozen in time. Do you like Her Highness Alexandrina? Her Highness is very kind. I've seen how she treats her fellows, eating the same food and sleeping in the same room. She's not like most nobles. She doesn't see them as her servants, nor will she abandon them. Victoria's fortunate. The heart of Her Highness is strong. Years of exile has not undermined her dignity and integrity. You said Victoria. What about yourself, my lady? What do you think of Her Highness? I hope she has a bright future. So I got a letter last night, 2 in the same day. She's impatient. But you've reunited with Her Highness. Is she, by chance, the Dublin Draco? Do you remember how Her Highness came here with the size of kings 26 years ago? It must have been a sign that its portents might come true very soon. We've waited for so long, miss. You could... Aladale Cumberland. You will meet Vina again someday. I've long since given up waiting, Elsie. How long has it been since Jim left? He returned home to County Peninsula a year after the incident. 25 years. We haven't had a gardener for a quarter of a century. I used to love the bushes that grew there, and they tripped me from time to time, but the tiny golden flowers that bloomed from them were so beautiful. The first batch all died the winter after Jim left. Mother sent people all around and learned that it was the noblest breed from Minos. The money it took to buy those seeds would have fed an ordinary family of Londiniers for half a decade. Your garden remains beautiful even without that particular kind of bush. I tried, Elsie. We all tried. You toiled tirelessly, summer and winter, in order to keep the garden in good shape. But without those seeds, our garden would never return to its former glory. I sent her a letter the 5th New Year's Day after Dad died. Her reply included the seeds that House Cumberland could no longer afford. Elsie, we've always been living like this. If the Duke was here... She always had tricks up her sleeve. No, my lady. I meant your father. Father. I can hardly recall his voice now. Perhaps it's only in this garden that I remember how he held my hand, taught me how to swing a sword, knocked me down, then picked me up and sat me on his shoulder. I wanted to preserve them many years ago, Ailshi, I don't know how to pronounce it still. I tried everything I could. The garden, the armour, and the shadow of my father. But there is nothing worth less than want. I remember how I wanted to become a steam knight when I was little. Ailshi, sometimes, just sometimes, I think, growing up is such a cruel thing, isn't it? With the exception of a lucky few, we all become tired and unremarkable adults. Mood. Always treading carefully, not daring to speak our minds. Grasping at straws when the waves are rough. and never letting go of the ones we find. What did you want to be when you were little, Elshi? Not the servant of a fallen house, surely. No, it's an honor to be by your side. I want the truth. Well, I suppose. I listened to a lot of bard's tales when I was little. Elshi the bard. Please, don't tease me. Growing up means toppling, crushing, turning to dust the possibilities that we thought were within our reach when we were little. And here we are. Can I preserve House Cumberland's glory? It passed beyond my reach a long time ago. I, Aladale, am who I am now. But even you can't say who Aladale will be, can you? Will be? I'm old, miss. I couldn't squeeze a tune out of an instrument even if I had the chance. But you promised me. Maybe you thought it was just a childish fancy. But I've always believed that you could do it. To be a steam knight greater than Charles Lynch, greater than any of your ancestors. You'll do it for me, won't you? Enough, Elshi. She won't permit. Then what do you want to do? I'm behind you, no matter your choice. Take your time. You always make the right decision. Miss, permit me to walk around this garden one last time. It's most dear to me, even if it's just a shadow of its former self. Aladale wants to say something, but she does not open her mouth. She watches someone, with whom she has spent virtually every day of her entire life, walk towards the centre of the garden. They have been through the worst times together, and have transformed them in ways that they could not have imagined. She is Alfred. Aladale realises that she has not seen Elshi smile like this for years. She feels a sense of tranquility, one that she has not felt in ages. If there is still a chance. Suddenly, Aladale's attention is drawn to a speck of orange in the distance. It rapidly draws near, and she feels the temperature around her rise. Actually, quick, we must! In an instant, the manor is engulfed in flames. Your Highness. Quiet. You're disturbing my enjoyment of the view. Storied history turns to cinder. The proud manners of nobles reduced to charred ruins. Tiles carefully sculpted and laid over centuries peel off one by one. Flowers collected from all corners of the land wilt and wither. My orders were to investigate the nobles. Are you not happy with what I am doing, Commander? Do you not enjoy the flames? Does the sound of blood evaporating not interest you? Oh, hiss. Listen and savour, Latour, my friend. I am examining every drop of blood, as is my responsibility. I will assist your investigation, ensuring that no traitor walks free, as is my duty.
A trial in all its vaunted glory will not bring about any substantive change. It matters more what
I
we
dislike
do
Leto,
after
but
the
I
trial.
really hope that he at the very least
Doctor,
stabs some
I've
Sarkaz
seen
leader
what
in the
you've done,
back towards the
and find
end.
it praiseworthy.
I wouldn't mind that. Alright, same thing. Oh god. This is getting out of hand. Now there's 3 of them. Yeah, how much have we done? So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5. Why is it all conga lines? Hang on. Conga line. Conga line. Well, not quite. Could do, but not really. I suppose it's not that bad then. Nah, okay. Maybe not. For some reason I thought there was loads of conga lines, but there actually isn't. Okay, let's have a look. Well, that middle one I'm not worried about. We would get it instantly because of putting people down. Have person, shooter here, shoot at that one. I will have a healer and golden glow. There we go. Okay, what's the conga line like? We'll see how it goes. I think the lineup I've got at the moment is still okay. There are some things that will never change, Elsie. I'll grow up to be a Steam Knight, just like Sir Lynch. No, even greater than Sir Lynch. I'll protect you all, and I'll drive every scoundrel away. I'll uphold the glory of Cumberland, just like my great-great-great-great-grandmother. I promise this, Elsie. You'll see. Elsie! Hold on, I promised that I'd... Go, Aladale. The vampire is coming. He cannot find you. Who is the lion, maybe? Elsie is here. I have to... You have to follow her orders. She will not allow you to deviate. No, wait, who is... Who? You can't. We can. The Duke has ordered us to help you complete your mission, but we are not your servants. Do not forget her instructions. Do not forget your place. There is only one thing you must do. Fulfill your duty. This has to be Dublin. I mean, the thing is, when I first heard the fires, I thought of Draco. But I feel as though if it weren't the Sarkaz that burnt everything, someone there would have been a bit confused. So I don't know. And who's talking? For an instant, Aladale forgets where she is and who is with her. She wants to run towards the fire that is burning away at what little remains of her life. Just like that night 26 years ago, when she wanted to run towards another fire to stop Parliament's men from taking her father. That is your sole responsibility. Aladale's eyes open wide. The tears in them evaporate before the fire, but she sees a great silhouette is rising in the burning garden. Is it the damaged suit of a steam armor? The steam armor upon which she placed so many dreams and hopes? Return to the person of interest, now. Through so many trials and tribulations, Aladale had prayed that her great ancestors would descend into the steam armor and help her overcome all challenges. Now, she sees the ancient armor breathing the flames of hell. She sees the shadow in the fire roar towards her. It is not her hope. She has strayed far from it. Even if her ancestor truly returned, Aladale knows it could only be the worst nightmare. Her. Tell her. I will obey her will, as always. We're going to fight Aladale, aren't we? I don't understand, Your Highness. I thought you were pleased with our hospitality. You even graced us with your presence at our banquets, did you not? You liked this place. I will not deny that you have brought me joy from time to time. I find your petty flattery and exaggerated cordiality adorable. You must be mistaken. There are no links to the dukes of the residents, I swear. Any trouble must be the work of the Cumberland woman. I'll expose her. Sanguinarch, Your Highness, please. I'll give you everything. My collection, my money, take all of it. Just... What good are those to me, my dear? You wouldn't kill me, would you? We should hold a wine tasting. You haven't sampled my private reserve yet. I'll be alright, won't I? Lieutenant Colonel Luto? It is Londinium. No, you sold Londinium. The Sarkaz are just here to protect Londinium at the invitation of the Duke of Cavendish. They wouldn't kill an innocent, of course. Take him to the front. I tire of the noise. Begin. Begin what? Run in when you hear the order. Confirm everyone is dead, and you can come back alive. Into the fire? A fire that big? No, I'll burn to death. You're going to do exactly that. The ancient Sarkaz steps on the heart of Victoria and raises a finger. Ah! He did not see what was chasing him. As the Sarkaz warrior said, he follows the order instinctively, running forward like a man possessed. In the fire, the slightest chance of survival. On his tail, the scent of certain death. But he only takes a few steps before stumbling in confusion. Blood spurts from his body. It no longer belongs to him. It serves another master now. At its new master's command, it charges forth towards the collapsing manor, towards the raging flames, chewing through the ruins, swallowing the rubble, covering the cinders. Nothing can stop the march of blood, not even fire. He was right, Leto. I haven't sampled his private reserve. We should, shouldn't we? This is it. Wait here. Lund, Charlie. This is where you kill us. How do you know? Simple. You never told the workers what you were building for the past 2 years. But a factory boss gets a few clues. I guessed you were close to the final stages. The way you people have been pressing us lately, and that means it's time for those who know too much to die. You lied to me. Just getting my affairs in order. What could lowly workers like us do after grovelling for the past 3 years? Don't you dare try anything. You, and you. Come with me. We'll take a look around. Keep a close eye on her, Paprika. Alright? Can I have a smoke? Okay. Thanks. Did you ever consider running? Where? And anyway, it'd only make trouble for the workers left behind. I've been thinking about what you'd do to us. Looks like whoever's giving the order still has something of a heart. But what do you mean? They said to get rid of us quietly so the workers don't panic, didn't they? If my life buys a chance for others to live, then so be it. You think the rest of the old-timers you brought here don't get that? I don't get it. How old are you, girl? Doctor, do you know the story of the Steam Knights? I've heard of them. Granny used to build them. It was a point of pride for us. With our own hands, we built the armor worn by the defenders of Londinium. The ones who defended our home. The part which... Oh, that just reminded that... Yeah, I'm now thinking about Portal 2. Oh, I should play that on stream at some point. That would be cool. I wanted to see the birth of those great things, just like Granny, to take part in it. Granny's been through a lot. She saw how Londinium became what it is today. And I can see how disappointed she is. But I don't want to give up so soon. Must be this drawer. Hidden compartment. Hidden compartment. Ah, here it is. Granny's incredible. I'd never know this desk had been altered if she hadn't told me. This is my badge and a notebook. I don't know who I'm writing this for, what I'm writing this for. Harvey died before Feist was born. Lindsay tried to understand it, but her sorrow turned into anger towards me. She blamed me for not stopping Harvey that day. I couldn't argue with her. I couldn't blame her for leaving Feist behind. I can. I heard she remarried someone decent. Good for her. I never told Feist. I didn't want him to know that his father died for nothing, and that his mother left with hate in her heart. So, you grew up in Colombia? Yes, my grandma raised me. Mum and Dad were both mercenaries, but they're dead. Why did you become a mercenary then? To feed myself and Grandma. Sarkars aren't welcome in most places, so I had to be a merc. What a good girl. So you agree with the Regent? You mean with occupying the city? I don't know. We do what we were paid to. I didn't know we were going to occupy such a big city. In Colombia, we were helping merchants smuggle goods that they didn't want people to know about, or hunting wild beasts. But I can tell you, that was the first time I saw Grimm so excited. He said the Sarkars would get to live a decent life if we were successful. Grimm? The smoker? Yes. Where's he now? I haven't seen him around in a while. He's dead. Aren't you sad about that? He always said that death and parting are a normal part of the mercenary life. Death and parting. All these years of chaos, and the Victorians haven't learned the slightest thing about the Sarkars. Catch, girl. Huh? Catherine takes a little thing from her cigarette box and tosses it at Paprika. It is small, soft, made of wool, and bright in colour. I thought she was going to give the kid a cigarette for a moment. I mean, she seems like the type. This is a finger sleeve. Grimm, you made it for the old merc, didn't you? I mean, you got to admit, she does sort of look like the type of old woman that would be like, she can have some wine. Give her a smoke, it won't matter. His finger hurt because of an old wound, but he couldn't cut the smoking habit. I saw him hide it in his cigarette box. Guess he didn't want it to get dirty, even though you made it for him to use. He gave me the box when he left, payment for smokes, for those few months. He never talked about you, but the moment I saw you, I knew you were the girl he was always thinking about. I don't know what he thought about the war, but I know without hearing it from him, you don't know what war is. I'm starting to see how she becomes an operator. I had a feeling Feist would leave. He's too much like Harvey. He thinks he can solve every problem with his wits. Seeing him reminds me of Harvey. I can't tell if I'm disappointed because the protest failed, or because Harvey didn't understand what the nobles were made of. Maybe a little of both. I let Feist go. I knew I couldn't stop him. I suppose, yeah, that's got to be quite bad for her. That would be the second time she had to let someone go for the same reason. Doctor, I thought about what I was going to say to Granny before I brought you back. I thought I was prepared. We've seen so much in our time, but I think I owe her an apology. She doesn't need your apology, does she? Yeah. Catherine always looks strict and solemn. People forget that she's just an ordinary woman who lost her livelihood. The Sarkaz don't let the workers into certain areas of the factories. Oh, we've reached the important text. You can hear the music change. They're definitely preparing some sort of weapon. They shouldn't have the resources to hold out this long, not with the dukes breathing down their necks. But from the material being sent to the factories, with what I know of her situation, all the signs point to them having her own supply line. Their own supply... Wait, did I say her? I don't know. None of this was supposed to concern me. All I can do is protect the workers. But I noted things I shouldn't have. Maybe, deep down, I thought I could do more than I did when I watched Harvey go out into the streets. If Feist came back to me for help someday, workers aren't allowed near it, but I know the place too well. That thing down there in the trailer, I'm assuming is the weapon, and I'm assuming we're going to do a little bit of piracy. There are only a few places suitable for a supply depot. Here, Doctor. Granny circled some places on a map. They'll be heavily guarded. Hope we get the results on the other side. Yes. It'll be hard to get close to those depots. Oh, it's this song. It's sort of like the slightly softer version of Sacrifice, which I don't like. I mean, I like the song, but I don't like the implication of using the song. I wish I could say goodbye to Granny. Guess it'll have to wait until next time. Let's go, Doctor. A lot of us don't actually know what we're fighting for. It's just, we don't have a place to go. We're not welcome anywhere. The King of Sarkaz promised us a home, a country, a future. I've spent time with your people. I can tell that some of you haven't actually fought before. What about you? I can fight. Have you killed anyone, girl? And I'm not talking about a villain you can kill without remorse. I mean real people. You're just a worker. You haven't killed anyone. Don't talk to me like you know what it means. You've been in Londinium for a while. You've heard of steam armor, haven't you? I hear it's a powerful weapon that hasn't been seen in a long time. Yes, it's a killing machine. I built killing machine after killing machine with these hands right here. I don't feel ashamed, because those machines were used to defend the land I lived on. What about you, girl? Do you know what your weapon is for? I feel like she is literally just going to turn her, like, now. Like, that would be really funny if they just leave together.
Everyone,
There's no need for you all to stand so far from me.
ここからは集中していかなきゃ。
I do not like that thing.
Hmm?
医者ならここに。ここだよ。ちょっとからかってあげようっと。
Your orders. Speeding up.
あいつらをとアップルパイ。
You are annoying.
ドクターはいつだって僕の居場所を見つけてくれるんだ。
That's also annoying.
しっかり聞いて。
Shit. Ah, okay.
いつでもいいよ。これが戦場というものね。Now's the time to help everyone out. それパラージ I'm so tired. Stay back!
I'll take the lead. The rest
大丈夫。すぐ治るから。
Don't worry. My poison is not contagious.
relax.
Okay.
It'll be over in an instant.
ロックンロール。
This is not going to go well.
Your orders.
This gavel of justice is waiting.
Are you hallucinating?
Oh, this is not going to go well. Ah, this is not going well at all.
いいよ。
This is not going well. And that's going to die. Ow. Okay. Oh, I don't know how to get them so quick. Ah, I mean, it's still a win, but still. Damn it. That might have been the first non-free star as well. Oh well. I don't know how to get them quick enough half the time, especially there, those two, where they weren't even in a place to use. George, everyone willing to go is here. What about Tommy? No sign of him. That's fine. Volunteers only. George, you found what Catherine left you, Feist? Was it what you were looking for? Yes. I'm glad. Now get going before you can't. Wait, what's going on? Do you know why the Sarkaz took Catherine? She knew too much. They're executing workers like her. Something didn't feel right, so I had Day climb to the top of the factory to check. What? Catherine kept it from us. She thought we didn't know anything. But we aren't stupid. We guessed what's going on. What are you going to do? Nothing in particular. We've put up with the Sarkaz for a long time. More or less gotten used to it. Some folk think the Sarkaz will let us go, so long as we put up with them a little longer. Now they want to do away with Catherine. You'll die. Better than standing around watching them kill Catherine. No one standing here has anything left to lose. Stop. You're with the Self-Salvation Corps. We've heard about you. Lots of us are happy for you. You've got more important things to do. Don't let Catherine's sacrifice be in vain. No. Doctor, I may have gotten some information from Granny. But as the leader of this factory, Granny knows more about the Sarkaz production lines than anyone else. She has significant strategic value, doesn't she? Without a doubt. I request help from Rhode Island. Yeah. I know you're Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I know you're watching here with me. Here. Describe the enemy deployment. They've tightened defenses, leaving gaps on the outside. It's mostly loosely organised mercenary bands guarding the outer area. Distract the mercenaries and take out the sentries. On it. Thank you, Dr. Ascalon. Vice takes a deep breath. Uh-oh. Oh, this is gonna be cool. Oh, this is cool. He sticks his badge to his chest and goes in amongst the workers. Don't make any rash decisions, Feist. I'm not here as a member of the Self-Salvation Corps. I'm here as the grandson of Catherine, as someone who grew up in this factory. I belong here. Funny to think, someone in chat recently mentioned, at least it's not, at least there aren't kids working in the, workhouses. I mean, I feel like there's plenty of people who grew up working here, as Feist mentioned. Just like you, I don't want Catherine to die. I'm not going to let her die, and I won't let you die either. The Doctor's people will cut off Sarkaz communications. Once we rescue Once we rescue Granny and the other factory bosses, we'll have plenty of time to get out of Highbury. It's UK during industrialization, of course there is child labour, of course there is. That'd be me. Ah, right, yes it was. I'll lead you to the core. Everyone will be safe. Everyone should be safe. I hope that's saying everyone should be safe as in everyone deserves to be safe and not everyone should be safe. The workers exchange stunned looks. But they see the fire of hope beginning to burn in each other's eyes. Hey, like I said, Arknights, a new hope. One by one, they get behind Feist. They have decided to trust Feist. Feist, I'm going too. Tommy, thanks. But don't. Why? You hesitated because your dad's not well, right? But... And there's something I need you to do. No matter the outcome, you will report to the Sarkaz that we staged a riot. But... It's important. I have to keep the ones who stay behind safe. Alright. Let's go then. We'll get the old hands back. Right. Catherine smokes her cigarette quietly. She watches as the Sarkaz drag one familiar face after another to a makeshift firing range. She sees one of those familiar faces' anger, disgust, resignation. Then, in the end, peace. She knows her turn will come soon. She feels a sense of calm that she has never felt before. Well, that calm is gonna become an issue real quick. Feist was right. Compromise and subservience will solve no problems. She must pay for her choices. But she got to see her grandson one last time, and left him a little gift before she had to pay. That's enough. You're up, Grandma. Take her. I can walk on my own. Oh, Paprika? Grim never had you kill anybody, did he? Never. Here's your chance. Learn to kill. This is how the Sarkaz treat a kid. I heard what you said to her. You're right, she doesn't know what war is. I didn't want to know what war was. If I couldn't help it, no Sarkaz does. But you left us no choice. None of you did. That's why it's time for her to learn. I like that look in your eyes, Grandma. It's the same look I've seen on buddies who died with their eyes wide open. I've killed a lot, but it doesn't sit right with me. Killing someone who can't fight back. You can go back where you came from if you don't have the stomach for it. How do you know these workers didn't build the weapons that were used to kill your own people? Morals are for peacetime. This is war. It's an argument we never got to have on fair, equal ground. I don't need you to tell me that. I just... Huh? A drone? Now! This is the place. I've scanned the area with the drone. Move! Can't I let someone else do it? No. I'm sure Grimm taught you not to question your captain's orders. Either you kill her, or drop your weapon and I kill you. I... do it. But... do it! I can't. I always said Grimm was too soft on you. We're not here to convince the Victorians to give our homeland back. If you can't do it, you're going to get it. Huh? A drone? Captain, the workers are revolting. What? Feist, we've got the doctor given orders here. We'll keep the mercenaries pinned down. Go and get Catherine. Alright. Are you out of your mind? That drill could do a lot of damage to someone. No, we're not. Do you know how valuable an experienced worker is? They're in high demand, you know. Feist, you... You could have lived longer if you pretended to not know anything. Too bad Granny always says I never know when to shut up. You think you can beat me? No. But maybe she can. What? Oh no, all I can think of now is, for Ragnarok, the, where it's just like, I know, it's like, I can't, but he can. The building explodes and Thurter appears. Bollocks. That thing was heavy. Thanks, George. That felt good. Thank Feist. What about you, Sarkaz? Not going to fight? Girl, your captain was right. This isn't the time to talk about right or wrong. We can't. But if you don't know what you're fighting for, no. You can't go. Guess I've got no choice then. Charge! Actually, I just realised, can't they literally do that meme with Thurter? We have a character called Thurter. And doesn't she also have a giant thing? What's going on? Where is everybody? I'm gonna have to report this. If I don't get a response... Ugh. The Sarkaz warrior feels weightless. In his blurring vision, he sees a black figure just before he collapses. It was another Sarkaz. Why Sarkaz? Last one. Ascalon is talking to herself, but she puts away the weapon with complete confidence that she is right. She can clearly see the angry workers routing the Sarkaz mercenaries from her position. Violence without strength of numbers was easily broken before years of pent-up anger. The balance of power is reversed. Memories float to the surface. She casts her gaze in another direction. The centre of Londinium. Is she going to go back for a round two? Like, imagine if she just does that as like a regular occurrence. Like every week she infiltrates the shard or the palace or whatever and messes with the confessari like she did the first time she was there. Just like to troll them. I mean, to be fair, that actually would be very good tactically speaking as well. It would make them paranoid. But anyway. We've tied up all the mercs. How many injuries? Not many. The mercenaries with this kid were in a panic and slow to react. Why have they tied them up? They're not exactly any use alive. They didn't even make up their mind to fight. We just... You tried to resist, but you were ambushed by cunning Londiniers. Ascalon's cleaned up outside. Their way, only a few old-timers had to die. Now, the Sarkaz will have all your heads. Is this your clever idea, Feist? Put all these years of patience to waste? No. If we watched you sacrifice yourself... Oh, yeah, if we watched you sacrifice yourselves to save our skins today, there'd be another group of victims tomorrow. Until everyone only cares about themselves. And that's not your choice to make for us. You're right. But it's not yours either. This time, though, everyone came to rescue you of their own accord. The Sarkaz have occupied the city for years. Life is hard. But there are some red lines we can't let them cross. If we didn't come here today, the Sarkaz will eventually boil us all. George, you too? It's not all of you here. That means there are some who don't want to come... that means there's some who don't want to see me come back alive. Reality is crueler than you think, Feist. Right and wrong isn't so simple. But what's done is done. Catherine looks at Feist. It seems like she wants to say something. She does not, however. Let's go. Let me guess, that was a thanks. Probably. Damn it. Ah, that is the first 2-star of the series. Oh well. Okay. I think cutscene and then I'll leave it here. Once I've done it. Swords crossed. Before the flames of war catch your light, tranquility brings its own terror. I can only assume that means we're going back to the burning Cumberland Manor. Or maybe not. I should probably just shut my whole mouth. Oh, you guys. Guard this place. Watch your formation. Keep an eye on her movements. You know who it is we're facing. Don't be like those stupid mercs. Oh, I guess they're fighting Ascalon. Here she comes. Oh, maybe she is actually just burning them then. Oh no, shining. Oh. Interesting. Watch her hands. She could draw her sword at any... That was quite clever, actually. I liked that. They actually made it look like she was walking down the street. Watch her lights and shadows. Don't try to follow the sword. There we go. Yeah. The Sarkaz with white horns silently carries her sword in her arms. Wordlessly, she keeps moving forward. The guards instinctively step back. Hold your ground. She stops. Under the gaze of the guards, she raises her left hand and she takes out a small piece of paper from within her tattered robe. I came as appointed, as he wished. No need to be on guard. Which way to Riverbank Street? Oh, hello, who are you? Shining. What are you doing standing there? Get out of the way. I told you we had a family meeting today. Understood. Who is you? What took you so long, Shining? I've been waiting. Salus. Okay, I guess that answered my question. It's not time yet. No, it's not. The leader won't be angry. Come in, dinner's ready. Look at you. Have you not had anything decent to eat since you left Londinium? I've talked to the leader. Tonight's menu is being prepared to Royal Victorian Academy of Sciences banquet standards. There we go. Oh, Shining, Shining. How long has it been since the old days, when we used to chat at the dinner table? Tell me what you've seen and heard. Karma, her eyes are up there. Actually, her eyes are what I was looking at. I'm curious about the red pupils. Leader, Shining's back. Welcome. Oh yeah, you. Otter Apocalypse looking motherfucker. Sit. This is your place. We just came to Londinium then. It was a long time ago. It has been empty ever since you killed those poor souls and fled with the test subject. That betrayal chilled the clan to the bone. But I don't blame you. Sit. I can't wait. I've hardly had a good meal lately. Staying all night in the labs. She pulls a chair and sits by the right-hand side of the white-horned Confessarius leader. He stops speaking and sits with his eyes half closed. A moment later, Shining puts down her sword and walks toward the only chair that is empty by the long table. Talk about your experiments, Salus. Work at the dinner table? Alright, alright. And I thought my family meetings were awkward. Got nothing on this. Yeah. There isn't much to talk about. I'm doing my best to extract emotions from memories, but the voices of the dead don't linger long on my fingertips. I've gotten some results, but only fragments. I'm running into a bottleneck. He really does look like Otter Apocalypse, and it's now starting to disturb me. The information is like branches cut from a tree. You can reconstruct the shape of the tree, but the tree can't survive without its roots, much less grow new sprouts. And I can't capture their voice, and I can't capture voices from further before. Never mind bringing them back to the present. Well, I mean, someone managed it because Teresa is here. And I'm fairly certain this is what you're talking about. Like time, life only goes in one direction. A description of its nature must necessarily be abstract and literary. Even Neurogenium arts of you and Shining can only capture an instant. The King of Sarkaz is an exception. That knowledge and the technique are like a waterfall. Yet, we can never find its source nor draw fresh water from it. Okay, so I'm guessing they did it with Teresa and maybe she didn't. Maybe that's the last of it. Unless when they say she left with a test subject, I'm assuming that's Nightingale, perhaps? Just because those two always seem to be together. So maybe there was two people that have been successfully done, but she left with her. I don't know. I'm spitballing here at the moment. My research has stalled since Shining's experiment stopped. What about you, leader? Is the Regent planning something big? You've been spending most of your time at Westlig or the Shard. You hardly come to my lab anymore. The Regent's plan is at a crucial stage. I'm not sure I understand. From Kazdel to Kazdel, the Confessari's service to those in power has always been one of pure mutual gain. I'm assuming that isn't supposed to be from Kazdel to Kazdel, otherwise that's not really much of a far and wide. Unless I'm forgetting something there. But you've been so close to the Regent that people on the other side are beginning to think the Confessarius is the Regent's lieutenant. Since when have we cared, Salus? This is hardly the first time they've misunderstood the Confessari. What's different about Teresis? I would not recommend saying that name within earshot of General Manfred. That's why I'm doing it in front of family. Like his predecessor, he came from no royal court, and his bloodline is far less pure than yours of Shining. That would be interesting. Get them to suggest another person gets in power. Just split the Sarkaz a little. None of their ancestors have ever caught the Confessari's attention. We've never gathered memories from their bloodlines. Even the King of Sarkaz chose his sister. It does not mean that a brother... Just as I've told you, Salus, power comes from blood. Blood inherits memory. Memory accumulates sin. Sin forms shackles. Only those unbound by history can truly unshackle power. Why does that sound like one of the creeds in Star Wars? Like, like you've got the Jedi, the Sith, the Grey Jedi. This sounds like another version of those sayings. Alright, alright. May the glory of old return the land under their majestic guidance. No, Salus. Succeed or fail, the Regent will make an impact on the Sarkaz. This is what is most frequently ignored. By the way, the test subject you took. What's her name again? Lisa? Liz? Hey, I was right. How's she doing? Liz is doing fine. Is oropathy taking its toll on her? She is unusual. Even if Dame Calcit is at that medical institution you found, they may not be able to truly help her. It's good that she's back in Londinium. Your lab's still here with everything. You can bring her back any time. Is the food not to your taste, my dear sister? Oh, sister, okay. I was somewhat assuming father and daughter, to be honest. I suppose older brother probably makes a bit more sense. It's been such a long time since you've been home. Speak up. If this is about Liz, I apologise, but you know Liz is not your average infected. Who's responsible for her suffering and consciousness? Who's responsible for her pain and memories? Can you continue to get along after she remembers all that? She's not family. You have to... She's my family. Oh. But she's going to become an empty shell if you don't come back to us. Don't forget why she was built that way. If you really care for her, I hope the end won't be too painful. Come back. I'm sure you understand. You understand? That's why you answered my invitation, isn't it? From Originium to the truth of the King of Sarkaz, we've reached a clearer conclusion. She's simply an old cage. But we could build a new one, if we had to. enough. I mean, that is technically a potential for an altar. I've never seen you really angry. Even when you hurt your own colleagues and took the girl. I guess I don't need to ask what you went through all these years. All I can see is that you see outsiders as more important than family. Salis empties her cup, which contained only water. There was no wine. She does not like drinking, especially at work. Her shadow sways under the light. This was not supposed to be a workday. You're not my family. Haven't I made that clear enough? You have. Shining does not look at the untouched food, or the other two confessari by her side. She simply stands up, holding her sword in her arms. I've asked the men watching Liz to leave. There's no need to send me any more invitations. The next time we meet, I expect it will be in battle. Ask them to leave. Shining, you really think you're going to just leave like this? There's nothing left for us to talk about. What if I said I don't want you to leave? You can't stop me. I think I can make you stay and chat for a little longer. No? The leader of the confessari silently sips his wine. He is really becoming like a motto. Shining can feel Salis activate her arts. She could leave by pulling a sword, but what would happen then? Well, will that really help her save Liz? Shining. Leader, I wasn't really about to use force against Shining. Why did you stop me? I've allowed you to act on your own. I've allowed you to be absent from my side. But do not interfere with the Regent's plan. Do not hinder the Sarkaz's path to our long-awaited future. Shining, my sister. No one can truly break free from her bloodline, no matter how much she might detest it. How much she might desire to break those shackles. It is meaningless to try and deny the gift of blood. You're sounding a lot like a Sanguine Arch now. Or the Sanguine Arch, rather. I thought you already knew. Not everything will go according to your plan, Father. Oh, well, okay. Okay. You know, sometimes... Your Highness. I'm going to assume the sister thing is more so in the sense of because it's a cult. So it's like, oh, you know, sister, brother, blah, blah, blah. It's either that or it's Sweet Home Alabama. My, Leto. Why such a frown on your face? Is the wine not good enough for you? Or is the flavour of the food too light? Good wine should be paired with the futile resistance of the weak against fate, and the arrogance of heroes who drown in prophecy. No, I think more so a cheap red would be good with that. Even I am amazed at how they write their own stories for their own entertainment. Unfortunately, our Victorian friends are too reliant on fiction. We've seen better stuff, have we not, Leto? I just saw you feed a nobleman's wife and children to your troops. I support the vetting of political insurgents, but... His voice dies in his throat. It is as though all the blood in his body has been forced to his esophagus. He falls to his knees and opens his mouth in desperation but cannot find any air. A blood mist comes over his vision. He sees the vampire still sitting in his place, elegant and calm, not even bothering to look at him. I do hope we get to kill the Sanguine Arch at some point. Lieutenant Colonel, form up, protect the commander. You'll fight me here? That's not what the taste of your blood tells me. Fear, worry. They're screaming for you to back off, to run away. Hold the line! The lips of the soldiers are as pale as their faces. They hold their weapons with trembling hands, sabres, bows, what Victoria has made for them. They are the finest soldiers, unafraid of the Streltsy of Ursus, the arcs of Lifanian, or the broadside guns of Columbia. But they are afraid of the Sarkaz sitting before them. Put down your weapons. Stand down. Lieutenant Colonel, this is an order. Yes, sir. The soldiers back off in an orderly manner. It took all of Letu's strength to give the order. He stops resisting and accepts the eternal darkness that the Sarkaz has prepared for him. Then, he hears the silky voice again. Leto, Leto. I thought we were friends. Friends should trust each other, shouldn't they? I think I've been kind, overlooking those little extracurricular activities of you and your men. Deals under the table, black markets in the alley. I've turned a blind eye to them because I don't think greed and desire should be punished. But I expect the same trust in return. Many Gaulish nobles keep foul beasts as pets, building jewelled cages for their adorable things, lying them down on soft and delicate cushions. All the foul beasts need to do is squawk, and they'll be served the finest food. When the foul beasts are in a bad mood, they peck their masters. Their masters eagerly tell people of the intelligence and personality of their foul beasts. But do you think the foul beasts have tamed their masters? Air returns to Letour's lungs. It takes him some time to stand again, his limbs still trembling, but he does his best to keep that trembling out of his voice. Thank you for your mercy, Your Highness. March! March! Stay in line. I heard you were looking for me. How are your injuries? Same as ever. Won't interfere with the mission. Good. I just got a message. Here. Let me see. Lost contact with the mercs sent to Highbury. They should have been in communication an hour ago. The military commission is dissatisfied with the recent performance of the mercenaries. Soldiers must pay attention to a greater battlefield. The Regent and I had high hopes for the mercenaries. I'll find out what happened to them. No need. I've made arrangements. There's a possibility that they ran into an old acquaintance of yours, who could be as concerned about the Sarkaz supply lines. Who could be as concerned about the Sarkaz supply lines as we ourselves? Let me guess. Doctor in Ascalon. They are investigating the Highbury munitions factory, or they are already preparing to attack other hubs with information about the supply lines. Tend to your injuries, mercenary. That sounded a little bit cold. You don't need any more wounds before I find your old friends one by one. Ooh, they don't sound particularly friendly at all anymore. Doctor, you're here. Did you get the intel from the factory? Send some potential depots. Not bad. I was thinking what I would have to do to extract you if to extract you and Feist if something went wrong. We had Ascalon. Can I ask you for a favor? Can you reach W? She operates on her own devices. Sarkaz's mercenary who wouldn't hurt the worker. She may need help. W will know. Is it the appointed time? Doctor! Whomst? You turn around at the voice. You see a familiar sight coming towards you. Hey! It's been a while. We're here. Amia. Long time no see. Yes, same here. When you suggested that we split up for a few days, I knew that it was the right call, but at least we came back together, alright. I'm so happy about that. What about your work closure? Don't worry, I'm pretty well prepared over here. I don't know if the defenses share the same weaknesses across Londinium, but there must be common characteristics to their framework. I've updated the drone's intrusion program based on the intel from Misery and Horn, as well as the data taken from the artillery control room. Oh yeah, I forgot. Horn had finally met up with them. Get the drone close to the core of the Defense Forces command tower, and I can break into the system and access traffic records for the past 10 days within 30 minutes. Can you do it in 20? Yeah, tomorrow will be a hard day. We've been probing the response of the Sarkaz army within Londinium in the last few days. We expect Manfred and the vampire to show up quickly. Ascalon, Logos and I will do our best to delay them. However, the longer it takes, the more dangerous it is. The Sarkaz of the Royal Court could appear at any time. Yes, Doctor. Dr. Calcitt is helping us delay the Naxxraria and Lich. But there's only so much time she can buy. We can't handle multiple members of the Royal Court at once. Yeah. Watch the signal and be ready to pull out at a moment's notice. Understood. Rhode Island and Self-Salvation Corps are ready. Aladale, the mercenaries are looking for you. Sorry, I was distracted. What did you say? No, I'm the one who should apologise. Maybe we could have saved Ashley together if I wasn't so anxious to leave. I know she's important to you. She's my only family. House Cumberland is no more. One woman does not make a family, eh? Chat, be quiet. Sorry. Maybe it was something that should have happened a long time ago. Delayed until today. God damn it, Speedy. Don't say that, Aladale. That vampire will be made to pay, I promise. The steam armor was lost in the fire. Maybe that's for the better. That way, I won't have to see it anymore. Vina, can you take me to the Glasgow gang? I can pretend nothing happened. I carry nothing on my shoulders. I'll just be your brain trust. Sorry, I forgot you had Morgan. I'll just be a thug then. We'll bomb the Sarkaz camp together. You light a fire, and I'll kick their commander's ass once their smoke's gone. I'm joking. I know. My path is long determined, Vina. Why do you say that? You're still with us. The Glasgow gang has more stories to write. So, the answer is yes. I'll make sure you come back unharmed after kicking the commander's ass. That's my promise. I see. Thanks. Let's leave the jokes at that. I would begin to believe them if this went on. Alright. I've got to go. Totter and the mercenaries are waiting for me. We need to double check our route. Get ready, Vina. The size of Kings is before us. Would you have said yes if she truly invited you to leave? Clavisia? The walls of Londinium are tall. A few are able to escape their shadow. But you did. You escaped the palace and escaped Londinium. Perhaps Aladale envies you because of that. She has forced herself to carry the Cumberland name for 20 years. But you're different. You thought about leaving your name behind, didn't you? I can't deny that. But I'm here now, regardless of what I thought. Victoria's on the brink right now, and I must fight for her. Victoria. Kings, nobles, merchants, soldiers, workers. People often use the word Victoria to justify their actions, but it has done nothing to quell the endless conflict over the centuries. Who defines what Victoria is? Is it the 60 nomadic cities and the land around them? 60? The 40 million people that live within? Or the monarch who rules them? Your Royal Highness, Alexandrina Vina Victoria. Why have you come back when you say you came back for Victoria? The noble mansions have been burned to the ground. Wonder how many survivors there are. The Sarkaz are planning something big, and the defense forces aren't trying to hide. Is it just me, or has this street been progressively getting more and more boarded up? Or have I only just noticed, maybe? This street may never be the same again. Oh. I think that answers my question. Golding knows that her visit from the commander means her identity is no longer a secret. She wanders the streets aimlessly, filled with a deep feeling of helplessness. Perhaps it was always futile for humans to fight the tide. Adam's bookstore is open, but the familiar warm yellow light is absent. Golding has a bad feeling. The bookstore is empty, but the smell of books fills every corner, so thick it might as well have taken physical form. Golding realizes the ground is sticky. Not just the ground, the counter, the cashier, the books on the shelves, and the teapot that Adams always has by his side. Ah, the vampire has been here. Everything has been painted a shade of light red. Blood. The nausea that's been bothering Golding for days explodes uncontrollably. She runs out of the street and begins to vomit. Are you okay? Molly. Not her. You don't look very well. Here, take my shoulder. We still have time, Lady Golding. Your part is not over yet. You said that education was your strength, didn't you? My strength. Let's go back. We've persevered for so long. We'll see this to the end. Someone needs to kill the cluster. I'm counting on you. Don't worry, we'll get our new friends to the base safely. You're not coming with us. I have another mission. Your grandson is a pretty big deal in the Corps, after all. Real big deals don't usually boast about it. Oh, and I have to return this, Granny. Your badge? I'm not a worker anymore. I shouldn't be wearing this outside. Being smart isn't enough to fool death. Those who are gone will never come back, and the wounds left behind do not necessarily fade with time. But I don't want to spend night after night in regret, staring at machines with no one to use them, because I will go into each and every night. I will carry the torch left behind by those who are gone and keep walking, until the cold is driven out, and the path ahead is no longer dark. And even then, I'll keep walking. I would walk 500 miles. Anyway, not for some ethereal hope. Not because I'm still waiting for someone to make a stand for us. You said it, that we built Londinium with our own hands. Even if the city is reduced to rubble tomorrow, we'll start rebuilding it the day after. Feist says all that in one breath. His words are met with silence. Don't make the joke, don't make the joke. But he finds that the silence no longer makes him anxious. A thought comes to mind as he gazes upon his grandmother, standing by the production line. When did her hair turn so white? Go, if your mind's made up. And let me see. Bye, Granny. Feist glimpses a small card flying towards him in the corner of his eye. It is the badge that he just returned. He smiles. Oh, I love this art. This is by far the best. I'll be back, Granny. With Victoria. I know you'll be proud of me, so there's no need to say it. What I really want to know is, what you need to know is, I'll be proud of this factory, no matter where I go in the future. And you too. Also, I thought about the question you asked. The things that disappointed you so much, the betrayal, the suspicions, people who can't work together. I know we'll have to face them again. But if knowing that means I have to abandon our trust in others, then we won't survive this war. We have to face it sooner or later, win or lose. One more thing. I've never seen the inside of a suit of a Steam Knight, but I always remember the silhouette hammering away at the production line. You've always been my hero, and you always will be. Bye, for real, before this gets too awkward. The production line keeps running, as though nothing has ever changed. Brat. Feist hears a familiar sigh from deep inside the factory. He waves without looking back, and walks into the sunlight outside. Nice. And what was it? It was 12. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's probably going to be it for now. That was a very decent chunk of everything. So what is it? It's 19 playable stages. So yeah, we're on good time. Lone Trail will get into the mix of things and delay this chapter, but it'll probably only be 2 more streams maybe, depending on how things go. Oh, 2 conga lines. Ah, no thingies though. That's useful. Just taking a look while I can. Simple lineup, 2. Yeah, 2 up there, 1 there. Because there doesn't really need to be anyone there. And then just everything around there. That doesn't look too bad. I'll leave that for later though. Oh. Ah. And let's have a look then. But yeah, I'll leave this here. So tomorrow I will be actually reading the Rhine Lab manga for real this time. That is a problem for future karma, yep. But yeah, so tomorrow will be the manga, and then of course Tuesday is the release of Lone Trail. I'm assuming it will be released at 7 PM like usual, so I'll probably start stream around that time. It might be a little bit of a shorter stream because of a work day, but I'll be pumping out quite a few of those streams to try and get Lone Trail done. But that's the plan. Until then, though, thank you guys so much for hanging around, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.